What's going on, YouTubers? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller here. Welcome everyone to your Impact Wrestling Review, the show from January 12th, 2021. I would say relative to the show itself, this will be the fallout or happened at Genesis, sort of, because to be honest with you, they ain't really mentioned much of it about Genesis, especially when you have Ace Austin, who's not even on the show here, where it tends to showing bragging rights, showing showing off in a way that he's now the Super S Cup winner of the tournament of 2021 from Genesis. None of that at all. Not even much chance to Jordan Grace being there. But you had Moose there. Don't know if they mentioned much of it pertains to his match against Willie Mack from from Genesis. But there's a reason why too, because this was the Go Show edition for Impact Wrestling's Impact Hard to Kill 2021. But this was just taking place in Nashville, Tennessee, and your commentators were Josh Matthews and Madison Rain. So, also what they did here, let's get into the show itself. The show itself opened up with a video package of recapping what happened last week, pertains to Eddie Edwards, Sami Callahan, Alicia Edwards, and Ken Shamrock, pertains to that whole thing. And the whole thing with Moose. I'm assuming it was something about Moose, if I recall. But it's not here or there. But most likely what tends to happen, what tends to Rich Swann, mostly Machine Guns, the Good Brothers, and Kenny Omega. And then when they show another thing that they show, open up the show, was the Good Brothers invading AEW's Dynamite on the New Year's Smash, event 1, and now here we are. What tends to what happened on the show here. So Josh Matthews and Madison Rain on commentary, and I'm not gonna say much about the commentators at this point, because I'm pretty sure y'all know where I'm going with that one too. Maybe if I do the preview, I probably will mention that a little more. So by the time this gets up, hopefully later on, later on the same day this gets uploaded, I'll do the preview of it as well, where it seems too hard to kill 2021. But I'll save that for that preview itself. But you had the opening match. Taya Valkyrie being accompanied by Rosemary versus Kimberly being accompanied by the Impact and Knockouts champion, the virtuoso herself, Deonna Purrazzo. Match happens between Valkyrie and Kimberly. Good match. Obviously, you have some outside involvement pertains to Deonna Purrazzo tripping up the leg of Taya Valkyrie. Just led to Rosemary grabbing her, and they started brawling a little bit until they got to the stage. As they got up to the stage, all of a sudden we see the appearance of Susan, Su Yung, now being basically Susie, now being called Susan. So the undead bride, Su Yung, who ends up being the cute cuddly girl, who's nice and say that's bad and everything, and Susie, to this woman, Susan, who looked like she could be an attorney, an agent, whatever. And boy, did they show that pertains to her being an agent, or some type of I already know what to make of her character, other than what make it Elizabeth's milk first. Other than her having that vibe, the look, comparison, I should say, not comparison of from X-Men 2, Deathstrike. Deathstrike is the one who also was had metal bones, like Wolverine. If you've ever seen the movie X-Men 2, you know what I'm talking about. Basically that's what Susan reminds me of. Except there's no claws, obviously. But Susan attacks Rosemary, and John Purrazzo helps too. This led to Taya Valkyrie get distracted for a roll-up pin. Kimberly gets the win, And yeah, so no momentum going in for Ty Valkyrie going into Hard to Kill because she lost due to a distraction. And that's basically it. And we'll talk a little more about that later. We get to a segment with Kenny Omega, Don Callis, and the Good Brothers in the tour bus. And basically, Don Callis talks about Hard to Kill, saying that Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers will be on Impact Wrestling. Will make an impact, I meant to say, on Dynamite, I should say. And they also talk about how Carl Anderson, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, he needs to wrap this up with Rich Swann in the main event. Bring out the old school Machine Gun Carl Anderson out, and that's basically where telegraphing us pertains to the main event of Impact Wrestling, and we'll get to that later. We get another advertisement paid by Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone of AEW, pertains to AEW Dynamite's New Year's Smash Part 2. And Tony Khan, you acting like a heel and everything on here. Basically on talking down on Impact Wrestling. We mentioned something about Brian Cage. Brian Cage used to be part of Impact Wrestling, by the way. And basically, Tony Khan, I'm like, oh my god, this is getting ridiculous. I get Tony Khan, is rich and everything and all that, and paying all this and all that, blah blah blah. But the way he's doing this right now is, it's awkward. So then we get to a video package pertains to the feud between Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards. While you have Sami Callihan somewhere in his own private production thing where since him being the ICU hacker, and he basically talks about how the match between those two at Hard to Kill, which that's been added for Hard to Kill, that Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards is not gonna have a regular match. They're gonna have a match that's gonna be a bloodbath, and it's gonna be Barbed Wire Massacre. And I knew that it was gonna lead to that too because of Sami Callihan, watching Abyss versus Sabu in their own Barbed Wire Massacre match from the days of TNA wrestling. And that match, by God, if you've never seen that match before, oh my God, that was a Barbed Wire Massacre to the fullest. So yeah, Eddie Edwards had, Sami Callihan had barbed wire while he's talking about this, and scripted on his head. He's bleeding. Eddie Edwards had a barbed wire in his hand as he's talking about this too, and then squeezing it, seeing blood in his hands. And that's how they build up the final build-ups for this coming sorry about that. Hope you didn't catch that, but building up for this coming Saturday, Hard to Kill. Then we get to the next match, and they advertised this last week where it was going to be Chris Bay and Rohit Raju versus Manic and TJP. And I'm saying to myself, how are they going to pull this one off? So here's what happened. Chris Bay and Rohit Raju comes out, and then Manic comes out, and then Suicide comes out. They couldn't even do a cinematic type of style match for this. I mean, obviously we know Manic is TJP under the mask. Well, it should be the other way around for me to say that. TJP is Manic under the mask, I should say. This was stupid. Match itself, I didn't care for that much because it was so stupid. The match wasn't stupid. The advertisement of this was stupid. So Chris Bay and Rohit Raju won. Chris Bay pinned, I think, Manic. No, he pinned Suicide. There you go. Nothing to say about the match. Cody Deaner is now called Deaner. So basically, they removed the first name and call him Deaner. I guess it's supposed to be make him look more mean, intimidating, dangerous. I still don't give a fuck. New look, haircut, trim the beard, new attire, new means new attitude and everything. I still don't care. But it's Diener being copied by Eric Young and Joe Doring versus Tommy Dreamer being copied by Rhino and Cousin Jake. At one point, Tommy Dreamer and Diener are having a match. All of a sudden, Tommy Dreamer gets tripped up by Joe Doring, and then Rhino trips up on Diener, which led to a referee to kick both of them out. So Eric Young and Cousin Jake are still there, because they ain't doing anything wrong. And obviously Eric Young did get involved a little bit, and then Cousin Jake was trying to snap Cody Diener out of it, or try to say Diener, but Diener was not having any of it. I think he slapped him at one point, and this caused Cousin Jake to attack, basically attack his cousin. This led to a DQ finish for Dino to win. And then after the match was over, a fight broke out, and all of a sudden Joe Doring comes out, Rhino comes out. In the end, the heel stands tall, and there you go. I would care about Eric Young building up a faction of what pertains to it's their world now. The world doesn't belong to us in a way. It belongs to Eric Young and Joe Doring. But the fact that got Cody Diener involved with this, I don't care. I just don't care. To me, it really brings down the mystique of Eric Young and Joe Doring, and I don't like it. I just can't get into it. I can't buy into Diener being someone to take seriously now, after all these years being a joke. And I know what people are going to say too. Eric Young was the same thing too. That's different. Eric Young, he's not like Cody Diener. What pertains to size and physique, he's not like Cody Diener. And plus, I found Eric Young very entertaining more than I ever did with Cody Diener. That's another difference too. Moving on, and we'll see how that match turns out too in the old school rules match, 6-man tag match in Top Boy. They promote they promote Hard to Kill, what pertains to the promo of the Knockouts Championship match between Deon Purrazzo defending it against Ty Valkyrie. Speaking of the Knockouts, they also promote the Knockouts Tag Team Championship tournament that they did, what pertains to who's in the finals, and Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus Nevaeh and Havoc. So they had this contract signing to make it official, with Scott D'Amore being there. Contract sign is official. So Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan starts talking trash. All of a sudden, Nevaeh and Havoc gets them by the throat. Havoc gets Kiera Hogan by the throat. Nevaeh gets Tasha Steelz by the throat. And basically they say what they had to say, and then they walked away, and Tasha Steelz was coughing. And while Kiera Hogan's like, don't you put your hands on like that again, blah, 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 and everything. Hey, at least Kiera Hogan could take it. Tasha Steelz, that's nothing. When Tasha Steelz getting choked by Nevaeh, she was smiling. I guess she was trying not to laugh, because I get it, it's kayfabe and everything. In real life, they're real friends and everything, but she couldn't keep it together. It just shows you right there that Tasha Steelz is not good in acting. Kiera Hogan, on the other hand, she was good with her acting there. So yeah. And then also, while all this was going on, that was over with and everything. Out of nowhere, Brian Myers comes in, and I say to myself, wow, this guy has a knack coming out of nowhere when stuff is happening that has nothing to do with him. So then he's basically talking to Scott D'Amore, and also Josh Alexander shows up, and I say to myself, what are they doing with Josh Alexander now? Is he gonna be a face now? Is this whole thing with the North is really done with now? Because I think that the pairing is over now, and we don't know what the situation is going to be with Ethan Page. If he's going to resign, or is he going to leave? I don't know. But But there really been this whole thing with Brian Myers and Josh Alexander, and basically Scott Moore told them that they should face each other. Now I don't know if it's happened that hard to kill. I don't think they promoted that, but maybe on the next episode of Impact Wrestling, maybe they will. We'll see. Obviously, next week's Impact Wrestling. I'm not talking about World Chance 2, but because at this point, Hard to Kill will be over by that point. So, anyways, I should mention this, by the way. I didn't get to mention this earlier. After the match of Ty Valkyrie and Rosemary, there was a segment backstage with Ty Valkyrie and Rosemary. That Ty Valkyrie, she was a little upset that she lost, but Rosemary is like, that's okay. All you gotta do is focus on Sunday, and don't worry, we have a plan. And I say to myself, well, this is her thing that she always says, because Rosemary is basically the Venom of Impact Wrestling, because Venom, if those don't know, she'll know at this point, because Venom pertains to taking over the body of Eddie Brock. Whatever happens, we are gonna do it together in a way. That's what Rosemary is. Basically Rosemary is Venom, and Courtney Rush is Eddie Brock. Best female version of it though. Yeah, should get what I mean there. Yeah. Hopefully you understand. You get what I'm saying there. So, match happens between Tina Dashwood with Caleb with a K versus Rosemary. Match happens. I wasn't really into the match that much, but I thought it was okay. At one point there was a hairspray involved, where I thought it was going to be the end of the match, by the way, with Rosemary. But she was being in the match. Caleb with K kept getting involved, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Crazy Steve shows up, and I say to myself, oh, that's where she met. But we have a plan. The plan is Crazy Steve. So he's close after Caleb with a K. This led to referee being distracted. Tina Nashville gets in the hairspray again, but this time Rosemary takes it away from her, sprays it in her, and then she gets her finisher. I don't remember if it was a wet wedding. I think it was a different finisher that she does. But in the end, Rosemary got the win, and there you go. And that's basically the gist of it. So we go backstage and we see Rich Swann kind of promo where he tends to his match on Hard to Kill against where it tends to him team over the Motion Machine Guns, going up against Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. And he talks about how he's going to be facing Carl Anderson in the main event, and say they're going to do this all night long in a way. So good promo though. Don't remember the gist of it, but it was a good promo. We get a video package pertains to the issues with the North. And again, I don't know what's happening. Once Ethan Page's contract is going to be up with Impact Wrestling. Is he going to resign? Is he not going to resign? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that. But the whole thing too is that Ethan Page is going to be wrestling against himself as the Crying Man, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a cinematic match leading to Hard to Kill. Now, what's it going to lead to at the end of it? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to build this up. I don't know how they're going to book it. I don't know how it's going to be done. But we have to tune in to find out to see how they do that. The TNA World Heavyweight Champion Moose comes out in the rematch against Matthew Palmer. This time, no 3 minutes on the clock. It's just an exhibition match. So the match happens. Moose got Matthew Palmer was getting the upper hand at first, from the beginning, but basically Moose let him do it though, and then Moose basically was toying with him afterwards, and then Moose at the end of the day went for the elbow strikes, and referee noticed that Matthew Palmer couldn't continue, so he stopped the match, and that was it. Moose wins, as I knew he would. Basically this is Moose's way to get back at Matthew Palmer from last week. And finally, the main event, Carl Anderson, the Machine Gun, versus Rich Swann. And match itself was decent. I didn't really find the match anything that special. I mean, at first it was good, but then all of a sudden, I just like, it was whatever. During the match too, you had a split camera of Kenny Omega, Doc Gallows and Don Callis watching from the bus, while the Machine Guns are watching it in the locker rooms, and while there's all this going down and everything. In the end, it was Rich Swann getting the win over the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, and that was it. Well, that one. All of a sudden, Rich Swann. Now, I remember how it happened. In fact, let me see if it says it here. All right, let me see. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, at that point, they leave the bus because they was going to go after the motion machine guns. And then Swan comes in, and then that's when Carl Anderson comes in, and then also all hell breaks loose in the locker room. A brawl happened in the locker room, and that's how the show ended. Basically, final build up, final segue, final what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember. If I can remember though, it's something on the line of cliffhanger. Yeah, cliffhanger to lead into Hard to Kill. So, and that was it. That was the end of the show, and that will include. Probably they did a Hard to Kill promo reel air hyping up the pay-per-view one more time before the show officially went off the air, and that's what they did. And that was it for your Impact Wrestling results. Pertains to the show, the Golden Show edition of Hard to Kill, which I kind of wait to see. And yeah, that was the show from January 12th, 2021. Talking about wrestling were 6 matches. 6 matches, in case you didn't hear that because of that damn beep. But my overall strength for the show, for Impact Wrestling from January 12th, 2021, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 6.5. I wasn't really into the show that much, mainly because they were doing so much to hype up Hard to Kill, and not much to it. And on top of that, they didn't even bother trying to to mention what happened at Genesis, So much for that. But anyways, yeah, not much to say about that, folks. So that was the show, and thank you for watching. If this is the first time you're experiencing yours truly, Natural Born Driller, right here on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell for more future contents, especially your favorites and mine. Taking out the trash series. So y'all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world. Wear your mask, wear your gloves, love one another, God bless one another, live in peace, and the harmony for us all. I am out here, ta-ta for now, for It's Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets, and make sure to hit that like button or that dislike button. Either way, thank you for spending your time joining me as I give you the absolute best content with an orange Cassidy thumbs up as I possibly can on here on YouTube. Take care.